This is your meeting minute for the Select Board's November 12th meeting. The meeting began with honors and appreciation given to the Exeter Seahawks tackle football team, who completed their season 9-0 and won their championship game against Dover 20-0.
You guys should be very proud. I hope you keep riding this wave this week. I hope it brings you into another season. I can't wait to work with you guys next year. 9-0, undefeated, never lost. Thank you.
Following that, the Exeter Area Webelow Scouts Chapter 323 sat with the board to discuss local elections and how they'd become leaders in the near future.
Does anyone remember any of the ideas you had about things that they could work on?
I remember.
Smaller, less trash, because that kind of lets off poisonous gas that causes global warming.
We are thinking of planting flowers at the YMCA.
We could have more shops or restaurants to make the town better.
We should have more holidays because then we get more days off from school.
The first topic on the agenda was a debrief on the recent general election with town moderator Kate Miller and Vicky Navoychek from the supervisors of the checklist.
It was a huge turnout. We had over 8,000 people come through the Talbot Gym. I am troubled by the fact that some people weren't able to stand in line long enough to be able to come in to vote. And that's the one thing that I think we need to look at for future elections.
It wasn't record turnout for new voters. A lot of our voters did their due diligence prior to the election, which I'm grateful for. We still had about 750 new voters come into town.
There is a new law that went into effect today, actually. Had the law been in effect, they would have had to deny 73 people, including 40 Republicans, 25 undeclareds, and 8 Democrats, their vote, because they did not bring proof of citizenship to the
It's not just proof of citizenship that you have to bring. You have to bring all 4 pieces in order to register. My guess is about half of those folks would have been turned away on election day.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
And so I really think that we as a community can do a really better job advocating at the state level with our new current, young at heart, state rep, to really make sure that we are advocating for accessible voting, to make sure that everybody is allowed and encouraged and easily can access the ballot, because voter suppression helps nobody.
Next up, Parks and Rec Director Greg Bisson gave an update on the status of Planet Playground, which recently has progressed with the Land and Water Conservation Grant from the National Park Service for $297,500, allowing them to move on to the next phase of the project.
Rec Advisory Board had recommended impact fees to purchase the ADA mats. These are the same ADA mats that are at Park Street Common, so anyone can see them out. This will be a great opportunity not only to make the whole entire surfacing ADA accessible, but also a great community build. We can get actually community members to get out here, move the mats, zip tie them together, and we build them like Legos. They also decided at the October meeting that it would be best to table the shade structure, and this is one of the things we're going to get public input. Put the playground in, get feedback from those using the playground, and really see what we want for other enhancements. But the most important is getting the Alta Glide. Anyone that sends kids to Lincoln Street School, there's an Alta Glide there. One of the most popular things. It's a wheelchair accessible glider. So anyone that's grew up in my generation remembers the glider swings that all our grandparents had. We went back to the installer of the playground, Pettinelli, and they would install it for free if we ordered it at the same time as we ordered the rest of the playground.
The board voted to accept the grant, as well as to allow the department to use the Parks Improvement Fund's $47,500 for ADA playground mats. Town planner Dave Sharples attends the meeting, informing the board of a grant they had received from the Certified Local Government Program for $15,000. The Division of Historical Resources gets funding every year through the federal government, so using this grant, Mr. Sharples would like to survey every property in the historical district. Doing these surveys would determine if these properties contribute to the historical district, how intact and integral they are, and determine their significance. This would help the homeowners understand their values and the Historic District Commission to find and receive better certificates for them. He asks for the board to approve and accept the funds, anticipating a spring start for the surveys.
This is a great project. The historical nature of this town is constantly at risk by development, and to document these things is vital and critical and all important, and it really does set up the HDC and the Heritage Commission to do their work. So thank you for focusing on this.
The board approved on accepting the grant and beginning surveying. On behalf of Kristen Murphy, they requested ARPA funds to install a fire detection system for Rains Farm, $12,815 to cover the system and $700 to cover annual fees, which the board approved. The board then moved on to regular business. The next meeting will be back on November 25th.